Shalom, welcome into Prophetic Connections. We are live here with you tonight. We have an urgent prophetic update for you guys, and so we are going to be talking about Jerusalem tonight. I'm Kayla, this is Matt, we have Katie in the back, and so today we saw on April the 30th, 2025, that Jerusalem has some wildfires all over Israel right now, all over Jerusalem. It's showing about 3,000 acres are on fire.
Yeah, and now it's possibly they're looking at terrorist attack. I've seen where there's reports of 20 different possible fires set in 20 different locations. So this could possibly be a terrorist attack. You know, there's a lot of things going on right now in Israel.
Yeah. So as we get into this, let's just start with this prophetic video that we have for you guys.
As the north wind blows, as the north wind blows, Jerusalem gets hot. As the north wind blows, Jerusalem will get hot as it blows. Iran, open your mouth to scream, no sound escapes your lips. Syria stands and cringe, for you dare not make a step. As the north wind blows, as the north wind blows.
Massive wildfires erupted in forested areas west of Jerusalem, causing widespread chaos and destruction. Strong winds and extreme heat contributed to the rapid spread of flames. The fires led to large-scale evacuations and emergency response deployment.
On April 30th, 2025, large-scale wildfires broke out in the Judean hills near Jerusalem, triggered by extreme heat and strong winds.
People drove through flames on a highway in central Israel as wildfires raged on the outskirts of Jerusalem on Wednesday. Nearby communities were forced to evacuate as Israel appealed for international help to fight the blaze. Video showed fires burning along the Route 1 highway from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv. Footage caught people abandoning their cars and running from flames as thick smoke billowed nearby. At least several people were injured, but there were no reports of fatalities. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Italy and Croatia were expected to send firefighting planes to help extinguish the flames. Israel also appealed to Greece, Cyprus, and Bulgaria, the foreign ministry said. Israeli media reported that at least 120 fire and rescue services had mobilized dozens of teams, aircraft, and helicopters to try to contain the blaze. The military said its search and rescue forces were assisting the operations. The fire broke out on Israel's Memorial Day for fallen soldiers, and many ceremonies marking the eve of its Independence Day were cancelled.
So, as we said, this is a live prophetic alert, and we have with us Prophet Robin here to talk about this prophetic alert, this video that we just brought to you guys. This is from today in Jerusalem. So, Prophet, what do you have to say about this?
Well, you know, this is extremely serious. I don't know that people may be not grasping the severity of this thing. You're talking about around the holy city. You're talking about around Jerusalem. Fires are burning, and you know, just to think that some kind of fire fell out of heaven and suddenly started that is just kind of foolish and
Right.
naive.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
agree.
And so I want you to listen to something. This is out of Exodus and chapter 12, and it says that this is talking about the first Passover. It said, "And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorpost of the houses wherein they shall eat it." And in Psalm 22:16, it talks about prophesying about Jesus, how they drove nails in his hands and his feet. And so this is what I was led to say first to start this off, is that in the days of the Passover in Exodus, the blood was here, and on top. It was man reaching up to God. And when Jesus was crucified, it was here, and on his feet. So it was the Megan David. It formed the two, and it became the eye of God. And so I don't know if people realize this, but that's serious business. Somebody has stuck their finger in the eye of God. And God this is not going to go well in heaven. This is not going to go well at all in heaven. You know, I don't know, Kayla, this is kind of impromptu what we're doing right here. But you were talking about a prophecy back before we all came out here. And Katie showed that prophecy to us in the back. Katie, do you have that you could show that right now?
Yes, sir, I do.
Go ahead and show that about Iran and all of that that we've been giving on the 11th hour. I don't know why we should show it, but let's just show it.
Okay.
"14 years of hardship await you, Iran. Do not make the wrong decision. You boast, but let it only be a boast. For if you try what you are planning, it will be a miserable failure. Get rid of your leader before you cross a line of no return. For there is one, and you are threatening to cross it. Your country will burn with fervent heat and never be the same again. Why do you think you can win when over and over again I've shown you that you can't? Personal vendettas are a poor reason to cause your people to die for. How long do you think I will tolerate, says the Lord, your drone attacks against Israel? I ask again, how long? The birds of prey will explode in their caves, and it will surely shake the land, saith the Lord of hosts." Good is the word of the Lord. We esteem the word of the Lord.
Well, and right here we have in this, it's talking about Iran, and it's telling it don't boast, don't sit here. Your threats, all they need to be is a boast. And you know, I don't know, Katie, do you have this where we have Hamas putting out all these different things on their different channels and their different things they're telling them to burn things, to set whatever they can find on fire.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, as you can see, it's telling people just to forest, gray, it doesn't matter. Just if you can set it on fire, set it on fire. That's what they're trying to do. Fire doesn't just come out of, it can be hot weather, it can be dry weather, but stuff just don't catch on fire.
Yeah.
You have to set stuff on fire. And that's what's happening right now. Israel is on fire, and Iran is trying to buy time. They're trying to buy time to do whatever they're wanting to do, but that's what the Lord's saying. Don't do what you plan on doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this thing is it's all around Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And see,
Yeah.
this changes everything. This is a game changer because Jerusalem is the balancing scales of the nations.
Right.
I want you to listen to a word the Lord gave me on April 23rd, 2025. And this was just what he said. Now, I've never told this on anything. I'm telling it right here on this Prophetic Connections. He said, now the time has come for the judgment of the nations. He said, where they stand, let's see if I can read my writing. Where they stand, or where they're going, and where they stand, and where they're going. Says, and then listen to this, never heard this before. He said, Shakespearean moments.
Wow.
So there's going to be Shakespearean moments, regal time. Watch and pray, for it is here.
Wow.
Didn't say it's coming.
Wow.
Said it's here. And he talked about Shakespearean time. This is the time of the judgment of the nations. Now, and then suddenly, this prophecy from 22 shows up that Jerusalem is going to get hot when the north wind blows. Well, you know, Hezbollah's in the north. They're in northern Israel, southern Lebanon. And then it starts talking about when the north wind blows, and Israel they just bombed Lebanon. And then that big port blew up in Iran. And so now suddenly this happens. Jerusalem is hot. Jerusalem is hot. But I'm telling you something. It has now come time for the judgment of the nations.
Wow. And you want to find yourself like these nations.
Yeah.
You know, there's been many words about that, about what side are you going to be on, what side are you going to find yourself on. And we've talked about that several times on Prophetic Connections about these nations they're making their decisions by how they're backing Israel and how they're supporting Israel.
Yes.
And, you know, I think it's interesting. There was several reports that came out about this that said fires rapidly spread due to hot, dry weather and strong winds.
Strong winds.
And the prophecy said the north wind blows.
When the north wind blows. And he just kept on saying that, when the north wind blows, when the north wind blows. Said Jerusalem, it was specific to Jerusalem, will get hot. And now the Lord is telling me that the judgment of the nations has come. And notice Israel is calling on nations for help right now. All the nations are around Israel right now. They're in the balancing scales. Everything is being weighed right this moment. And so I'm not sure what Shakespearean or Shakespeare moments mean and regal time. But this is what he said is happening right now.
Wow.
So anyway, I wanted to come on here with you guys and talk about Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the apple of God's eye. Israel is the apple of his eye. And Jerusalem is the city of the great king. And now this is the first time, and they are threatening the city of the great king. This is not going to end well for them. This is not going to end well at all. And I don't know exactly what's happening, but did you notice in that prophecy, it said that Iran will stand with its mouth open, but no sound is coming out. Then it said Syria, you stand very still or stand in awe or something.
Stand and cringe.
And cringe at what's happening. That sounds like what's coming next is going to be a shaking like we haven't seen before. And so you can rest assured that Jerusalem will be spared. Jerusalem will be spared. But this didn't set well in heaven. And I'm just telling you, God is not pleased with this. He didn't do this, and he's not pleased with this. He's warned Iran. He's warned Hamas. A prophetic word not long ago said, I'll drown Hamas by the sea.
Yeah.
I'll drown them by the sea. So anyway, I don't know what else you might have for this prophetic connections, but this was so urgent.
Yeah.
I called you guys and said, we need to talk about these fires.
Yes.
It's serious business because Jerusalem is hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just a couple things that we, had noticed looking at this. One, today is Israel's Memorial Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this whole, all these fires stopped their celebrations
Did.
that they were doing. It's also the eve of their Independence Day. And their biggest celebration that they have is on it's on Mount Herzl, I think is how you say
Herzl,
it.
yeah.
Herzl, and it means mountain of God.
Mountain of God. Here's something else too. You're talking about this is their Memorial Day today, and you were saying what happens tomorrow, Matt?
The Independence
The
Day.
Independence Day. But here's the thing: on April the 30th, does it not strike anybody? If you think you're not in a prophetic cycle, this was the day Hitler killed himself.
Yeah.
This is the day Hitler killed himself, the man who killed 6 million Jews. So he killed himself today, and all this happened today.
Yeah. And it was 80 years ago today.
80 years ago.
Yes, and 8 is new beginnings,
Yes.
and we know that whatever Iran is doing right now, it's not going to prosper. It's not going to happen, and the Lord is going to keep Jerusalem safe. So this, I just see that as a new beginning for Jerusalem.
Well, I remember a while back, I don't know if y'all remember this, but I had given a prophetic word the Lord had given me about. Said there's an 80-year prophecy, an 80-year-old prophecy, or an 80-year prophecy that was coming or was coming to pass or something.
Wow.
However it was said, and this is 80 years.
Yeah.
And this is significant.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like it's that same spirit, that same Nazi spirit that Hamas
that's
and
the
all
whole
these
point,
groups
yeah.
have. I mean, they're all trying to get rid of the Jews. They're trying to get rid of Israel. They want Israel gone.
But this
wiped
is
off
the day
map.
Hitler killed himself.
Yeah.
That's right.
In other words, what they've done today finished them.
Exactly.
That's
yes.
that's where we are right now. This
Yeah.
is it. This didn't go well in heaven.
Right.
Heaven's on high alert, and it's like when God arose from Teman in the book of Exodus and came to Moses that Habakkuk talks about, and he came to rescue Moses at the Red Sea. Today is the day that the Jew killer killed himself.
Wow.
And today, whatever they've done to heat up Jerusalem like that, you just better hold on to what happens
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
Hold
Wow.
on to your constitution. And I mean your mental and physical constitution. This is not going to end well. Not for Israel's enemies.
No.
Yeah.
No, so this is something, it's going to be, I'm sure we're going to be watching it for the days to come and seeing what comes out of this, what is going on. I know that more will come. I'm sure more reports of the terrorist attacks will be coming forth from it. Like we said, we have the post where Hamas literally posted, they were telling the Palestinians to go and to set the fires. And I saw another post that said they wanted to burn any land that they're fighting over. And
How about that?
so there's going to be more coming from this.
Well, and there's a prophecy that we haven't posted yet that the Lord gave, and he said, I remember saying it. I don't know how I worded it because it comes out of your spirit. It don't come out of your head, so it's hard to remember it sometimes. But I remember saying, will this end? Yes, but not until after the explosion. Remember that? It was something to that
Yes.
effect.
Yeah.
And we'll find that, but not till after the explosion. Or something to that effect. And we just saw that massive explosion
Yes.
in Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he said after that, he said it won't end till after you hear that.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know that was coming. Only God could have known that. And now, as soon as that happens, then this happens on Hitler's suicide day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so whoever did this has committed suicide today.
Suicide mission.
It's over.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It may not look like it,
But it
it's,
is.
but it is.
Yeah.
And so I encourage all the nations, anybody watching right now, you pray for your nation, because this is the time. This was April 23rd, 2025, and I believe we were in California when
We were.
on this date. And the Lord said, now the time has come for the judgment of the nations, where they stand and where they're going.
Wow.
Wow.
Then he said, Shakespeare moments.
Wow.
That'll probably come out.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
this
We
is
will
talking
see
about.
what that is.
Shakespeare moments and regal time. Watch and pray, for it is here.
Wow.
And that was on April 23rd, and then these fires happened.
Yeah.
And I don't, and maybe the explosion, I don't know, after that. So here we are in this time. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming out and letting me come on like
Well,
that.
thank you for coming and talking about this with us. You know, this is one of those times that's very important. We always need to be watching what's going on in Israel and Jerusalem.
And pray
so,
for the peace of Jerusalem.
Yes,
Yes.
pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And so we thank you, Prophet, for coming and being on here with us. And we thank you guys for coming and being on here with us during this live prophetic urgent alert. And so we hope that you get to watch this and be here with us and